I'm going to show you how to replace the front bumper brackets on this Ram 1500. If you need parts for your vehicle, make sure you get those at 1aauto.com. Let's get started. We're going to take this cover off. Just use a trim tool, get it under the push pins, and just pop those out. And it slides right off. I'm going to remove these bolts. Use a 10mm socket. On the sides, I'm just going to use a pry bar and just get in here and just pry this back a little bit. There's a couple of retainers on the side. You can do that on both sides. Just pry that back. And for the bottom, I'm just going to reach down and push the grill outwards towards the front, just forcefully. There we go. And slide it back. You can see where it's clipped in. In the inner fender well, there's a access door. We want to pop the push pin out. Just use a trim tool. Get underneath there. Pop that out. And slide the door open. Now inside here, you're going to see a tab. You want to take that and you want to push that up. That's going to separate the back side of the headlight. Using a 10mm socket, take these two bolts out. And just grab the assembly and just give it a pull. You may have to push it from the back side. There is a little ball socket right there. It's just pushed in. Slide that out. Now we're just going to disconnect this wire. I'm just using a trim tool, pull those retainers out. If there's another one there, take that off. And then disconnect the connector, this little white tab, slide that back, push down, disconnect that. And you have a little red tab right here. Just slide that lock back, push, and disconnect it. There's a bolt that comes in through the back of here. It's going to be a little bit tricky to get to. Use a 10mm socket. Get in there. Just grab that bolt. There it is. So it just goes down like that. Pull that out. We're going to use an 8mm socket. Take this bolt out. And then you're going to do the same on the other side. Now just grab the bumper cover, slide it down, and then we're just going to forcefully pull it out. Just pop it out. Do the same on this side. And it slides right out. We're going to take these bolts out. You want to remove this cover. Use a 10mm socket. Another one down there. Oh, I dropped it. Then we'll take the other ones out. Just raise this up a little bit and using a trim tool, there's some push pins. Just pop those out. There we go. And this cover comes right off. Take this cover off, use a 10mm socket, take these bolts out. And there's another one down there. Pull that off. Using a trim tool, pop this connector out, then you can disconnect it. Just push down on the tab, slide that off. And there's another wire right here. Follow that wire back. Pop the retainer out. Right there. And you can see where the connector is. Just use the trim tool. Pop the connector out. There's a little lock on the connector. Just slide that up. You can slide that up with a screwdriver or a pick, even a trim tool, and then push down and it'll disconnect the bumper. Here we go. That's disconnected. Some vehicles may have a push pin or a couple push pins holding this on. You want to separate those from both sides. We're going to take these nuts out. There's two on this side, and there's one further in on the other side. Take those out. 6 total, because you have to do the other side as well. Use an 18mm socket. Loosen these up. And take those out. And that's the last nut. And just grab the bumper, and it slides right out. I'm going to use a 10mm socket to take the 2 bolts out on the ends. And using a trim tool, pop the push pins out. These out all along the bottom. And take that shield off. Using a 10mm socket, we're going to take these bolts out. That piece is loose now. We can just leave that there for now. Using a 15mm socket, we're going to take all these bolts out. And there's one more up top. And this piece can separate. Take that off. We're just going to transfer these J-hooks over to the new bracket. You can use a straight blade screwdriver or a trim tool. Just get underneath here, pry these out. slide that off. Take the new bracket and just slide that in place. If you need to, you can just use a hammer, tap it in place. Do the same with the other ones. And take the bracket, slide that over. Get the bolts started. And before we tighten those down, we'll just get the smaller bolts started as well. Make sure that all lines up. Those are all good. Tighten these all down. Make sure you don't pinch the wire. That's good, those are all tight. Now we'll tighten the smaller ones down. You can do the same on the other side. Now take the lower shield, get the bolt started on the sides. Make sure it's all lined up. Now we're going to start taking the push pins and push those in, lock those down. Make sure this is lined up. Go along and put all the push pins back in and press them down. And if you need to, use some pliers and just push those down. Do the same with the other ones. And tighten these down. And do the same on the other side. Now line the bumper up. Line the studs up with the bracket. And push it in. Put the nuts on, get those started. And the same on the other side. And we'll tighten those down. Now we're going to torque these nuts to 70 foot-pounds. And with the inside one, do the best you can. Do the same on the other side. Plug the connectors in. Get that lock down and then push the lock on. That's good. Slide the harness in place. Get that lined up. That's good. And this connector, do the same. Lock it down and push that in place. That's good. Now take this panel and slide this in place. underneath, we have the push pins. I'm going to get those lined up and just push those on. You can also do this from underneath if you need to. All right, those are all in place. Line this up. Take the bolts, get these lined up. Get these all started first. 2 on this side, 2 on the other side. Tighten these down. And put this panel in place. Get these screws started. Tighten those down. Slide this cover in place. Now take the bolts, get this started. And we'll tighten that down. Snug that down. Put that screw in here. Get that started and tighten that down. Down below, if there's any push pins, you want to push those in. And then you can do the same on the other side. Attach the lights, push that on, and then push down on the lock. Plug this connector in as well. And push the retainers in. Just line this up. Make sure this is in the up position. That's where it locks in. So that's up. And just push it in. Then we're going to reach in and pull down on the lock, lock that in place, and push the door in place. Take the push pin, get that started, lock it down. I'll put these 2 screws in, get those started, there and there. I'll tighten those down. Then you want to do the same on the other side. Take the grill, just line it up. That's good. Snap it in place down below. Take the screws. The more coarse screws are going to go into the plastic on the outer sides. The finer thread is going to go towards the middle. Do the same on the other side. Then we'll tighten these down. Snug those down. Take the cover, line it up, get all the push pins started, just lock them down. That's good. Well, I hope this video helped you out, and if you need parts for your vehicle, make sure you get those at 1aauto.com, and you can watch all those repair videos to help you with your installs. If you enjoyed the video, make sure you subscribe to our channel, ring the bell, turn on all notifications so you don't miss any of our videos.